Today, I want to introduce myself since I haven't yet and talk about some of my 2024 art goals. So, I'm Kate, I'm 28, and I have been drawing and painting all of my life. I went to school for art and majored in fine art with a minor in film. When I was in school, I mostly used oil paints or just graphite. I focused on portraits and surrealism, incorporating a lot of greenery. Shortly after I left school, I had my first son, and that meant my art took a backseat. While I still tried to steal moments to sketch, I lost so much skill and passion for my work, which is why I'm now here, documenting finding my style again and trying to grow as an artist. I also hope to create a space to help others grow in their journey. I don't really have a niche, so I'm usually all over the place creating whatever I feel like in that moment and experimenting with materials that I used to overlook, which is something that I will still be working on in 2024. Like I said before, I used to only use oil paint or graphite, and I was really limiting myself. So now I'm trying to get as much experience as I can in different materials. So that is my first goal, to learn some new materials. Last year I worked with gouache, so next up is watercolor and possibly colored pencil. Although colored pencils is probably my least favorite material to use, but that could be because I don't use them very often and are really limited on the colors that I have. It seems like to me watercolor and colored pencil go hand in hand. I've seen a lot of artists use colored pencil to enhance their watercolor pieces, so I'm going to push myself out of my comfort zone and start using a little bit more mixed media. My last two goals are kind of contradictory. I want to use my sketchbook more and sketch more freely, to use it to its full potential. Since this one took me almost a year to finish because I tried to have only finished pieces in there rather than small studies or ideas and just letting me use it just as a sketchbook. But I also want to get out of my sketchbook. My sketchbook is kind of a crutch to me. I know that I don't have to show it to anybody if I don't want to. It's not up on display. And while working my sketchbook definitely helps me build up skill, I just don't think that it's helping me build up my confidence in my art as much as I'd like it to. So I think for me, having more art that I create outside of my sketchbook and maybe even on display, even if it's just in my own house, will help me build up to that level of confidence that I'd like to be at. I have a lot of blank canvases laying around and I'd like to start putting them to good use. Those are the only goals that I set for myself this year. I didn't want to give myself any unrealistic standards or anything like that, so 3 is good enough for me. Hopefully you'll be here to follow along. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and here is the last page of my sketchbook with a self-portrait and one last message to myself.